Good morning, everyone. I've been already out here working in the garden for a couple of hours, trying to get stuff done before it gets so hot. But I tell you what, it's already hot. It's already too hot. I had to come get me a Gatorade. Yeah, I got to get tomato plants transplanted. I got to get some forget-me-not, those 4 o'clocks. They're almost big enough to transplant. I've got some Ponderosa pink tomatoes I need to get transplanted pretty soon. And I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why that dirt is holding so much water in those that planter over there, the 5-tier planter. But it was drowning out my little seedlings because the water, the ground was, or the dirt was holding too much water. So I got some of those transplanted. Got to get the rest of them done. And I want to show you that biggest sunflower here. It was laying over on the rocks this morning. So I found a tall tomato stake, and I was able to get it up that straight anyway. I don't know what's going to happen though if we had another storm with high winds. It's going to destroy my sunflowers. But see, they're growing real good, but they were fighting like the dickens with that darn wind. But you can see here, oh, I think my purple basil's trying to come up, how wet this dirt is. It's just totally soggy. And it's drowning out my plants. And there's holes, there's drain holes in the bottom. I don't know why it's doing that. But see, I still got those Cherokee purple tomatoes, that is, not the Ponderosa pink. Cherokee purple. These are my broken 4 o'clocks that have come up real good. I got to get moved somewhere. And there's my Shasta daisies. I've only got that couple of sprouts left. The pot was full. And it's got holes in the bottom. There's nothing down there holding the water. But it's been raining so much, it's just drowned in my plants. I mean, my yard is starting to look like a jungle here. It is really. Isn't it, little buddy? Yeah, the yard's looking like a jungle. And I can't mow because the ground is so wet. The dirt is so gummy and wet. I can't, I'm not even going to try to mow till it dries off. And the mosquitoes will almost eat you alive with all this rain. But I got sunflowers this year, that's for sure. I got sunflowers growing everywhere. Watch out, little buddy. Let me put this down. Now, no, don't get... He's going to walk back and forth in front of the camera. You silly kitty. He's a silly kitty. Everybody wanted to see you in the live, and you was outside with all the other kitty cats. I wish he'd quit scratching his wound. It heals up completely, and then he'll scratch it, and it gets torn open again. But it's not bad. I mean, just don't know what I'm going to do with him. All those other cats hanging around here. Look at this. He decided he'd lay down. He'd lay down on the table. And he did stay inside last night. He didn't want any part of being outside in the thunder and lightning and the wind and the rain. That's for sure. But first thing this morning, he got something to eat and he wanted out. Yeah, I've even got sunflowers way out there on the property line. See them out there? They're growing like crazy. Got some in the pots. If I can get these trees cut down, but they're all along the property line out there. I got sunflowers. Some of the rose bushes, the cuttings died, but those sunflowers are still alive. Whew. I tell you. Yeah, my poor squash plants are trying to produce yellow squash, but we're getting so much rain that it's drowning them. But I'll take you back there in a minute and I'll show you what I've been working on this morning. I didn't film it because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I had to go through trial and error and figure it out. And I don't have it done the best in the world, but at least I've got it fixed halfway decent. And I'll show you in just a minute. I just got to sit here and catch my breath. Yeah, it's very unusual for us to get this kind of rain this time of year. We usually get rain, but not like we've been getting. Not a storm every single day. We had 2 storms went through yesterday. One mid-afternoon and then one last night. Yeah, I was trying to get things done before it got so awfully hot. And still I'm sweating like crazy. I had to put a headband on to keep the sweat out of my eyes. I bought these headbands years ago and I was making different arts and crafts and things out of them. And I still had a bunch of them, so I said I need to start using them. So I'm using them. And they're just bandanas, regular Western bandanas you can buy in just about any store. I think Walmart even has them. I think you can get them at Walmart for like $1, $2, something like that. They usually have them back where the lady purses and stuff is located. Handbags. That breeze feels heavenly. My shirt is wet completely with sweat already. So I'm definitely going to have to, when I get finished, go in and take a shower. And morning glory is just all over the moonflowers out there. It's just weighting them down. I never dreamed that was going to happen. Me enlarge it and you can see. But see the morning glory vines growing all up on the... You see the one on the top, it doesn't know where to go. But there's morning glory just climbing all over the moonflowers. And it's pretty when they're all blooming. I mean, you got morning glories and you got moonflowers. But I didn't intend for that to happen. And I tried to prevent it. I keep pulling them off. But they kept growing. So it was really not a whole lot I could do about it. Not a whole lot I could do about it. Oh, I've just about drank this whole thing already. Yeah, I wanted to at least mow before I did a garden tour. Grass is so tall. The weeds. But we got a chance of rain this afternoon about 2 or 3 o'clock. So we're liable to get more rain and wind. Hopefully no more wind. I don't think my plants can handle any more wind. I'll have a privacy wall along the walk right up there with sunflowers. That biggest one's already taller than my head. Sitting here listening to the birds. I need to put bird seed out, but I don't want to put it out with it raining and the wind blowing the way it does, because it just ruins the bird seed. It gets wet, and then when it stays wet, it molds. And the birds won't go near it when it molds. It starts sprouting. And I haven't seen any hummingbirds since that dead tree fell over. And we've been getting all this rain. I haven't seen any more of my hummingbirds. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if maybe they had some nest in that old dead tree or not. And maybe their nest got destroyed when the tree fell over. Just don't know. Well, let's see if we can go back here and I'll show you what I've been working on. And like I said, I don't know what happened to this rose bush. All the rest of them have lived, and this one's trying to die. And I don't know why. All the other ones, see, are blooming. They're pretty and green. Grass is trying to take these over. But worst comes to worst, I'll just move the rocks and put the weed eater in there between them. That's all I can do. I've tried keeping it pulled out, and you just can't do it. That Bermuda grass is relentless. I got a little tomato trying to getting ripe down there. And see, I got sunflowers leaning over here. I just can't get everything done. And I still need to put a dome over that banana tree, give it more room. And see, I had staked this one up and it broke off. That's what happens when you try to stake them up. They'll break off on you. So you're kind of doomed if you don't do and doomed if you don't. So see, that one's leaning. I just don't know what to do. I can turn the bucket and it'll be leaning the other way, but I'm afraid if I do like the rest of them, if I stake them up, it's going to break it off. That one's growing pretty and straight. These wouldn't have fell over, but I went and dug those potatoes, remember? So I loosened all the dirt up. So the dirt got loose, and that's why those sunflowers started falling over. I don't know, I got to do something with this. Got to do something with it, and I don't know what. The buckets are full. That's how much it's rained. And that's just the runoff from the totes. But every single bucket is full of compost tea. And I got to get those emptied before the mosquitoes start breeding in it. And look at that. It rained so much. It filled this up. Look at that. Literally filled it up, so I need to turn it over. Because it can't hold no more water. Can't hold no more water. And I bet my other one that I've got turned like that is full. But that's what I fix them that way for. I just didn't realize it had that much water in it. That it was sitting in the top of it. Let's go check that other one. I won't be able to dump I'll have to go buy me another 32-gallon container. Yeah, see there? That one's full. It's got water in the top, so that's full. And that was just rainwater going in it. That's how much it's rained. Well, I can't get this thing. There. Look at that. Full to the top. It did what it was supposed to do. It caught that rain last night. Or for the last couple of nights. Get it on there, right? Put this back on there because I'll need it the next time I have to flip it over again. Mosquitoes are driving me nuts. This one's a little bit under the awning, but it's still full. It's just not sitting in the lid yet. So we're going to go ahead and just turn that one over too. We don't want it to sit in the lid because that'll start mosquitoes. But I'm going to get me another one. I got to go to Walmart probably today. And if they still have any more of those, I think it's the 32-gallon one, the bigger one. I think that's the smaller one. That's like a 22-gallon. And that one is a 32 gallon. Yeah, it's a lot bigger. I wish all of them were 32 gallons. But they didn't have those bigger ones when I bought them. So. But anyway, let's get over here. Oh my goodness, there's my raspberry. I want it to go up the trellis, not over on my tomato plant. And I don't know, I think I'm going to have to put it back in the ground. I think it's not going to produce raspberries until it's in the ground. I really don't. It has the blooms and stuff on it. It's already bloomed and it's got the little things on them, but I don't know if it's going to have any raspberries. I've never had raspberries on it yet, so I don't know. My tree collard, one of them leaves are broke, so I'll just take it off. I got something. It's the worms again. But you can't, you can't spray them if it's going to rain, because the rain will just wash stuff off of them. Poor tomato plant is just drowning. And my peas, my bush beans are pretty much gone. Look, I got one little crop of beans off of them. And it's rained so much with this heat, it's just killing them. Worms are getting on my leaves. I don't like them things. Little baby ones, but they're on there. And those things grow fast. And they will eat your plants up. They will literally devour your leaves. Some things they won't bother. They don't like to eat the leaves, but other things, oh my God, you can't keep them off of it. Brussels sprouts. I'm probably just going to pull this out eventually because it's not doing anything but feeding the worms. But yeah, my bush beans are pretty much gone. I got one crop out of them, and it started raining so much, and then it would get hot on top of it raining on them, and it just steamed them. I guess they didn't like the heat. The pole beans are still doing halfway decent. They're starting to put out beans. One right there. Yeah, I got beans on them all through here. See this big one? And most of these are the foot-long ones. Well, part of them are. Them little ones are tough. So I guess they produce beans that you shell out or something, because you can't eat the tough. The tough bean. That's a bush bean there. So I don't know, the rain has just messed up my plants, you know. Yeah, those things are tougher than I don't know what. But the vine is growing pretty good. I'm just wrapping it around up there. Look at my giant kale. Hopefully the worms will leave it alone now. It's getting pretty good size. No, look at there. See what gets on them? And they will eat your plants. They like the tender leaves though. Look at there. There's 2 of them on there. Yep, they will eat your plants up. And if it don't stop raining so much, so you can keep them dusted to keep the worms off of them, they're just going to eat them up. They'll completely eat your leaves up. Look at that. Little one started right there. I was getting the worms off, y'all. And I'm probably turning you upside down to do it. Oh well, I'll come back later and tend with that. Let's get back to what I was going to show you. Let's get the camera up here. But I took the wires off of the tank. I put these wooden stakes up, and that's where my shade cloth is attached to now. This one on this side is a little crooked, but it's all right. And I put I can get over here and show you. I get sun on the screen and I can't see what I'm showing you. But I've got a stake that I've hammered in the ground, and then I attach that wooden pole to it with wire and tape, so I don't think it's going anywhere. And I did that one the same way. But I was out here trying to figure out how to do it, and that's what I came up with. But I can walk under here now, and I'm not and I gotta fix this tomato plant. I had it on earlier and just checking to see if I had a bunch of worms on these. I don't see any. But I need to tie this up a little bit. It's not doing very well. Yeah, it broke off some of my tomato plants. So what I did was I just completely broke them off. Stuck them down in another pot, and I'm going to root them, start another plant with them. And they'll do that as long as you keep the dirt wet. And it's plenty wet right now, so they shouldn't have any problem rooting. You ever tried to get yarn untangled? This is a mess. It is a mess. Well, it's like yarn. It's kind of like a string, but you do crochet with it, but it's not the actual yarn stuff. I don't know what they call it. It's more of a cotton, like a twine would be, or a string. Out here working and you listen to the birds. Birds keep you company. Little buddy does too. He's asleep on the table. He stayed on the table up there. He's asleep. My goodness, come on. I don't know how to do this, really. I'm not going to tie it around it because you want to give your tomato plant room to grow. But this tomato plant has got to have a little bit more support than what it's had. And I probably should have waited and got this knot out. Now I don't have that end to work with. jumped the gun with tying it to the tomato plant. Oh my goodness. Where is the other end of it? Here, our mailman. Just as long as you don't leave me bills. Don't need any more bills. Not sure how to do this. Stopped out there like he forgot something. Oh my God, don't tell me I got the dullest knife in the house. sure how to do it. But that's why I wanted these pieces across the top here, is so I can stake the tomatoes up like that. That way the wind don't tear them up as bad. And you got something to tie to at the top. I know it don't look the best in the world, but hey, it works. And that's what matters. It works. Try this dull knife again. Have to figure out how to get that other piece up, because it's going to get lots bigger than what it is. I'm not going to make them too tight, but I don't want them real loose either. There, maybe that'll keep it from falling over. These are in the ground, they're not in the pot. And I think I put them down as far as they would go and they hit rock. That's why it's leaning over. It's hit rock on all four corners of it. Kind of looks like it's leaning toward Hog Hill, so to speak. And I can't dump these buckets until drown my plants out. I might move this back over here. Get it out of the way. Yeah, I gotta go get some, oh, I see another one that needs to be tied up. They've done so much growing. Look at this. That one's trying to break off from the wind. Look at this. Little pieces broke off. Nothing but the wind. This one's doing pretty good here, but it did break off too. I don't know if those tomatoes will even get ripe because it's broken off. But I figured that tomato plant right there was going to get all the way up here, and it didn't. But I might put another one in there if this one dies. And you can see I got tomatoes on this one. This little one here. But the wind got it blowed over too. I'm just going to get a stake, I think, to put to this. You get the worms on your plants after rain. Then you get wind damage to your plants after rain. Let's see if this will help. And then when the sun comes out and everything is just totally soaked, it literally cooks your plants. This grass will definitely grow in there. If anything will. That sunflower bent over. And it's probably going to die. Because the ground is too wet. And this thing will probably die regardless of whether I stake it up or not, but I'll give it a half a chance. And you can't even see what I'm doing. I got a sunflower that's fell over. And it might not help it at all. It might help it some. Give it half a chance. And then I'll put some plant food and stuff to my plants, but I don't know if it's doing any good. See, I put those pans under them because usually we don't, I'm fighting to keep the dirt damp. Now it's just the opposite. Everything is getting so wet and staying wet that looks like it's going to drown. And I don't know what to put to those sunflowers. I really don't. Unless I put a hole in the plastic and run a cord through it to hold it up. It's about the only thing I know to do. Because I don't think the dirt in the pots are packed hard enough to, man, the worms are just eating everything up. I don't see any worms, but something's been eating it. That's my rutabaga. And I've only got a couple rutabagas that survived. It's just eating my leaves up. I don't see no bugs. It might have been the last time, or it might be birds, or who knows what's eating them. It's drowning out my squash. A good little romaine tomato plant right here. Roma tomato. Oh man. Getting some of the water out. Yeah, they get so much rain it'll kill them. Don't get enough rain it'll kill them. So you don't know what to do. Oh, look at that. Was on that side, I've got something there. liable to cause it to break the next time the wind blows real hard. But it was just leaning way too far over. Something like that. I need some kind of stick to go in front of it. And I don't know. Let's see if I can go over here and find one. I don't know really where to go. I've got to get out here and put that shade cloth down. See, this doesn't happen in Texas. Not here. There's water literally standing right there. Look at this. I don't ever have water standing in my yard like that. It is now. That'd be the perfect place for this banana tree to be planted, but just as sure as I plant it in the ground, it's going to dry up. Plant it in the ground, it'll dry up. I got to find something to put on that. I don't know what. I really don't. That's a temporary fix, but it's not going to hold it. Checking this one for worms. And with all this rain, it gets bad for worms on these plants. I don't know, sometimes you just have to lean them, let them lean. But it looks almost like they're going to tumble over and take the totes with it. You know, the way they're leaning, they're getting top heavy. I don't know. But my watermelons are fixing to run vines across the yard. And I got to mow. I got to cut some of these old weeds and these flowers down to give my vines some place to run. I mean, there's literally water standing back here. And it's never usually does that. So this would have been a place to plant the banana tree instead of in the pot. But if I'd have done that, it would have been so dry, it would have died. I mean, look at that. That tree is growing out of the thing here. And I got stakes holding this down. Let's see. Yeah. See there, my tree? It's growing pretty, but I'm going to have to put something else over the top of it to keep it from those bugs, keep them away from it, to keep it from eating the leaves until it gets up big enough to where they'll leave it alone. But see, that's so much better. It don't look like $100, but hey, it's enough that I can go walk under it without having to worry about hitting my head or pulling my head off. But let's see what I can find. I've got plenty of tulle, but I don't have plenty of stakes. I don't have any more of them. Got this one. And I don't want to break that one, so. Where's my box of tulle? There she be. I've got plenty of tulle I can wrap it with. So let's see if we can get back over here. See what I can do with it. It around so I can tell if the camera goes off. It's already went off with me several times, and I don't know why. This stuff is tougher than what you think. But I still got that little one under this big one. But the big one's taken over. And I probably should have left that and not cut it. I can use it for something else. I don't know what this piece is. It's in all one great big piece, or what it is. Looks like it. I don't know what kind of bug it is that got on my banana trees, but it was just literally eating the leaves. And I'm hoping when they get bigger that whatever the worm is won't bother it. Whatever bird it is or bug or whatever has been eating it, we'll leave it alone. And there's water all back here. Off again, but I don't need all that. And I know it's something that flies by or whatever. I don't know how it does it, but something gets on there and eats it. Because once I covered it with the tool, it left it alone. So I'll leave it till it outgrows this. And then I'm going to take it completely off of it. It should be big enough that it'll fend for itself by then. We'll get a couple of rocks to weight it down. Put it on the inside. Oh, come on. That way, hopefully, the wind don't blow it off. We'll try to. I mean, it don't take much, just so the wind don't blow it off. Good God, I'm standing in water. So I said my yard didn't flood. Well, it don't, but it's flooded back here in this little easement. It's 2 inches deep in water back there. Let me find another little rock. Should be one somewhere close by. That way it'll get the sun, it'll get the rain, but hopefully whatever's been eating it will leave it alone. That'll give it some more room to grow. Not much, but give it more than it had. There, that's about all I can do. About all I can do with it. But that was a whole roll of tool. Well, not a roll, but a whole bolt of it. And I've put it to good use. Well, unfortunately, I got to get in there and take a shower. I got to get cleaned up a little bit so I can run to Walmart, and hopefully they'll have a 32-gallon water container like this one over here, so I can come back and empty all of this compost tea out of these buckets and put it in it. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm trying to repair all the damage from the storm last night and yesterday afternoon. 2 storms in 24 hours. That's too much. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I don't know what you're doing today, but isn't life grand? You do all the work to plant stuff, and then you got to work at it to try to save it from the storms and the flooding and all the water. And then when the water goes away, you got to protect it from the sun so it doesn't cook it. Sometimes I don't know if it's worth all this, but I love doing it. I love doing it because I love watching my stuff grow. And this is not every summer thing. We don't usually get weather like this. So we don't usually get this kind of water. It's unusual for our part of the country to get this much water. So I'm going to clean up my mess, get cleaned up a little bit, head to Walmart and get me a 32-gallon container. And I'll see you later.